Guten Morgen. Hello. I think that's how you say it. Hello. So thanks for that introduction. My name's James. I'm the CEO, co-founder of the ASO Co. If you want to email me, or if you want to tweet me, or if you just want to go on our website, all of our details are there. So I kind of ummed and ahed about what to present today because there's actually loads of content specifically about app store optimization. There's going to be lots of nitty-gritty details around metadata and creative and everything else. So I thought rather than kind of go into those details, I wanted to actually run through what I think are like the most fundamental ways and most important ways of actually thinking about ASO. So here we go. Point number one, the App Store, as far as we're concerned, is a performance channel. It is not a brand channel. Your brand has basically already done the job. They're there. You've got them there, either through paid media, through a TV ad, or whatever it might be, but you've got them there. So rerunning a brand message and creating what I would was probably more confusion is actually not the way to do it. And I want to kind of give you some examples of that now. And also, in addition to not being a brand channel, I think it's important to understand that while it is a product, it is also not a product channel. So obviously you have to talk about the product, but really it should be about the value proposition. And I'll show you some examples of where I think it has gone really wrong. So this is Burger King. So we work with Burger King. This was in the UK. So what Burger King have done here is they've gone to the product team and they've said, can you make me some screenshots? So the product team's gone, okay, yeah, I'll make you some screenshots. What do we need in there? It's all about the product. So as you can see, brand new look and feel, nothing to do with Burger King. Improved performance is one that I really hate. You know, saying improved performance, as far as I'm concerned, is basically telling them that it was shit before. You don't need to do that. You're always making it better. So this is what we did for them, which worked really, really well. Yeah, big, juicy burger. That's exactly what people want. So not only are we hitting them with exactly what it is, we're telling them that there are mobile-only exclusive deals. Then we're telling them about other things that are available. And then we're telling them where you can actually go and get your burger. Like for us, this is vital that you are really bringing out those value propositions, and that's really, really important. Another example is actually a dating app that we used to work with in the States. I just thought this was an interesting one. So, are you in? Into what? Literally says nothing. So actually we wanted to run a bit more brand for them. So we came up with New Year, New Boo, which was their slogan. Then it's all around selective dating, which is exactly what they do. So you can put your preferences or whatever else. But the point is that it's really about showing what the benefits are and the value that app is actually going to give to you. And that's really, really important. Don't let the product team create the screenshots. It has to be a combination of basically marketing and product. So you can talk about the product, but really it should be a very strong marketing and hopefully a call to action as well. The next thing I think is really important to think about is you need to know your product intimately. So there's a lot of chat around metadata and creative, and of course I'll talk about those a bit later. You know, those things are important, but times have changed. You know, it's not just about keywords and creative, and in fact, Google have been really, really specific about this. So this was actually the first time that Google ever gave insight into the algorithm. This was about a year ago. So you might have seen this before, but essentially, if you've got high retention rate, low crush rate, a low uninstall rate, then we're going to promote you. I mean, it was just as simple as that. You know, it happened in SEO. So SEO used to be all about backlinks and metadata. Now it's all about loading, speed pages, and everything else. It's about making the product better. And Google are being really clear about this. Then again, a year later, they gave another update. So it's all about app quality and how that's going to actually impact you and your ability to actually rank. So it's very important that you are looking in the product. I'm going to talk about that a bit later as well. Apple haven't specifically said this, but when you actually look into some data, it's really quite clear. So this is for a big client of ours. The red dotted line is their star rating, and the other coloured lines are the main keywords and phrases that we were specifically tracking for them. And what you can see is that as soon as the star rating goes down, their ability to rank for those search terms, or their actual ranks, have really plummeted. So it's really important. I know we talk about ratings and reviews, and I'm going to talk about that a bit more later, but it is really important, not just for conversion, but also your ability to actually give yourself visibility within the App Store. So it's really important to think about that. For me, I like to sum things up, and there's no better way of summing it up like this. Quite simply, if you've got a shit product, it's going to be really hard to make it work. And I hate to put it this bluntly, but it is really true. And some businesses come to us and they say, we want to do ASO, and we look at their presence, we look at their ratings, we look at their crash rates and all this stuff, and we just turn around to them and we just say no. We just said there's actually no point in paying us to do this work unless you get all these things sorted, which I'll talk about in a second. So it's really important to be checking those, what we call them vitals. In fact, Google actually calls them vitals as well. So all those individual things. So when you're actually looking at ASO, there are lots of factors that need to be considered. So, the obvious ones are, metadata and creative. Installs definitely helps. If you are a larger app, actually your ability to get specific keywords is actually a lot easier once you've got a higher install rate. But then we go into product, so ratings and reviews, launches, MAUs, uninstalls, retention, and app performance. So all of these things really need to be considered. So when you're thinking about ASO, don't be thinking just metadata and creative. You need to be thinking overall. And I'm going to deep dive a little bit into this. Does anybody know what this percentage represents? No one. Tut, tut, tut. This is the threshold for app not response rate within Google Play. Okay? So if you are above 0.47%, you are basically a naughty app. They actually call it bad behavior. So once you're above 0.4%, Google is literally saying to you that this is not good. Your app is actually crashing way more than it should do. So go into the back end of Android Developer Console and have a look at what your ANR rate is. And if it's below 0.47%, it will be all in red. And really, if you want to be growing, if you want to be doing ASO, you need to be talking to the product team, and you need to get them to start looking at this. And the reason why, because lo and behold, so if you look at this curve, it pretty much directly corresponds, in this particular case for a client of ours, with user loss. So you can see that as the app not response rate is going up, they are losing users, which of course is no good for anyone. And of course, your ability to do lots of things just disappears. So it's really important that you're looking at those vitals, because again, Google aren't going to rank you. Simple as that. And then ratings and reviews. So ratings and reviews are well documented, that they are really important for just overall app health. It definitely has a negative impact on conversion rate, because obviously people go in there and have a look. But it really, really reduces your ability to rank for specific search terms, like massively. So we always say to clients that if you have negative reviews, obviously you need to have a strategy, and I'm sure there's someone talking about ratings and review strategy at some point during the day. Go and listen to them. It's really important. Get those prompts, because you can see in this particular example, in April, when we launched their app prompt response and their positive reviews shot through the roof, this is what happened. So their metadata just went nuts. Like insane. So we'd done a metadata optimization before, it had been all right, Then we implemented the ratings and review strategy. We did another metadata optimization. This is actually for a fitness app. And keywords went through the roof, and also their installs started to increase as well. So it's really, really important that you're thinking about just the general health of the app, as well as metadata and creative. It's not one size fits all. This is really, really important. It actually really annoys me when people look at ASO and they just tick all the boxes, because you might not need to tick all those boxes. You know, if you kind of break it down, there are kind of two main factors, you know, metadata and creative, in addition to all the other things that I just mentioned. But it's got to be right for you. Like, we've had some clients come to us and say, we need to do loads of metadata. And I'm like, you're a wholesale business. No one really is searching for wholesale, but you've got the app plastered. This is for a client of ours in the States. They've got 160 warehouses full of stock, and businesses are going in there every single day. So for them, it was all about creative, and should be all about creative for them, because, you know, yes, you might get a bit of activity through keyword optimization, but really they've got so much traffic coming to the store that just for them, I think we increased the conversion rate quite a bit actually, but it had a massive impact on their business because it was the right strategy for them. And that's really important. Really sit down and think, do I need to be wasting time doing this, or should I be concentrating on this? And that's really, really important. Another really important part is that, you know, ASO is not just about acquisition. It's not just about top of the funnel stuff. Yes, it helps there, but people are coming back, re-engaging, reinstalling. In fact, for some big brands, reinstalls are much higher than install. You know, you get to a certain market saturation or saturation in a particular market. So you need to be thinking about not just new users, but you need to be thinking about how can we re-engage and engage with users coming back. So that's really, really important. And then the final point is data. We started my agency 4 years ago when data was quite unlimited. Now I think it's insane. I mean, there is so much data available specifically for ASO now. So go get it. Like, you don't have to be tied to one data source. In fact, I would discourage it. You know, the beauty of working in the world of an agency is that we can use every data source under the sun. And if you're a brand, so can you. I mean, there's nothing stopping you. And, you know, having one specific data source, like how do you know that that's correct? Especially in ASO, because, you know, as you know, Apple and Google are quite, they don't actually give much data around kind of organic installs and installs per keyword and those things, and there's a lot of estimations. And the other thing as well is that you've got loads of data, so you're pulling in loads of data from your MMP, you've got data from the app stores, you've got data from everywhere. It's like data overload. So when you're thinking about ASO, just try and get as many data sources as you possibly can, and then get it into one platform. You know, hire a data scientist, hire a data analyst, hire someone to come in and put that data together. This is the final point because I'm out of time. Think about not just what's happening in the App Store, you need to think about the overall impact. Because when you run an advert, you don't go from the advert to install. That's not the journey. And everyone looks at the conversion rate from a click to an install. The journey is actually from here to there to there. So I guarantee you, if you optimize here, oh no. If you optimize here, that was my best bit. If you optimize, oh, it's there. If you optimize there, everything will look better. And it's really important that you're able and have the ability to do that. That's us. We're loads of people doing ASO. These are some of our amazing clients. If you want to come talk to me later, I think we've got a stand in the room that no one's in, annoyingly, over on that side. Finally, my business partner is also running a workshop at 10 to 3. In workshop 1, I think it is, who's going to talk a lot more about the product and all the amazing things that you can do to benefit you. Thank you.